You ever hear about the Las Vegas shooting?
Oh yeah, the one at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, of course. I had a friend that
if
was.
If your podcast isn't already demonetized and taken off the internet yet, we'll make sure it happens now.
Oh fuck!
You had a friend that was there?
I had a friend that left the concert a few hours before it happened. Yeah,
lucky.
I lived in Vegas for 5 years.
Yeah, so I was like probably out traveling when it happened or something. I heard about it once or twice, never looked into it. I wasn't paying attention at the time. Yeah. And then I've obviously, now that I do this, I get like recommendations all the time in the comments, and that one comes up a lot. And I knew I would get to it. And eventually I just like watched a little documentary about it on Rumble by a gal named Mindy, who kind of like summarized everything. And it's a good summary of sort of like the base facts and all the problems with the official story. And it just like opened up this whole, like, what on earth? And I'll just do it just real quick. Like, what we're told is there's this country music concert in downtown Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017. And then out of nowhere, this dude on the 34th or 32nd floor or whatever of the hotel across the street.
Mandalay Bay.
Yeah. Like way up there. It's like a couple 100 yards of a shot or something.
Yeah.
He's got a hotel room that is absolutely like piled to the roof with ammo and guns of every nature, like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds, and like 40, 50, 60 guns. I forget the exact number, like an insane amount of firepower. Yeah. And he apparently smashes out the window and just starts unloading with ARs that have bump stocks, and they had to, and it's because when there's videos of it all over the place, and it's like automatic gunfire rains down on the concert. Like something like 60 people are killed. This massive tragedy. It's this whole crowd of people. And the story is that he shot a whole bunch of AR rounds and some rifle rounds out of that window all on his own. There was no one else in there. He eventually decided that he was done with that and then committed suicide alone in that room about an hour before the cops ever got there, while he still had an entire room full of ammunition and guns chilling, right? That's literally the official story. And that's already super weird. There's like 20 headshots in the crowd, and we're talking like a multi-100-yard shot with an AR and a bump stock. A lot of the weapons in the room didn't even have sights on them. But beyond that, the videos that everyone's posting, it's very clear that it's like a full-on belt-fed machine gun that's firing. And it's very clear that at times it sounds like there's multiple guns firing at once, multiple automatic guns firing at once. And it's also very clear that those shots are not possible. But then there's like layers and layers that I won't get into. There is clear evidence that there were multiple helicopters that don't exist that were flying around in the sky that night, right over top of the Mandalay Bay. Their transponders turned off, then turned back on, things like that. There is 911 calls all up and down the strip in hotels like 3-4 blocks down the strip of people alleging there are shooters in the lobby, of people saying they hear shots in the hotels, of like 6-7 different hotels on the strip. There are people that see people running around with guns. And remember, just one shooter in just one room. He never left. He committed suicide. And people are seeing people with guns in other places. The 911 calls are coming in from everywhere. The helicopters are going off. There are people injured in weird places that don't make sense. There are streets being shut down by police in places that don't make any sense. And I found, and as I started to look for it, I just happened to Google, like I kind of get better and better at Google searching. And I just Googled Las Vegas shooting map. I guess I Brave browser searched it. And I turned up this file at this, I think the URL is vegasshootingmap.com. But if you search for Las Vegas shooting map on a couple different search sites, it'll be like within the first 4 hits, as long as you're not Google searching it. And that map is like a Google Maps file that someone has gone in and actually archived all of the original primary source data, like the actual 911 calls, the actual video files, the actual reports, the actual autopsies, all on the map where they occurred. And you can click on them and they're directly linked, and you can just go watch all the body cam footage, all the videos, all the reports, all the phone calls. You can listen to them for yourself. And it is so eye-openingly, mind-blowingly like, what the fuck is going on here? Because obviously what we're being told is a wildly misleading fabrication, but then starting to try to explain what it is like the next level. And there are multiple levels of conspiracy theories that get applied to it. And this one, more than almost any other conspiracy theory, is one that is clearly, there is a conspiracy. And actually, there is no clear answers as far as I've been able to establish yet. And I've talked to some very smart people that have done years worth of work on it on multiple sides. And some people have Saudi angles. Some people have angles of like, that doesn't really fit because the thing is that a lot of the angle fits towards something happening on the roof of the Mandalay Bay and the structure on top that's actually owned by the Saudi government and the Crown Prince bin Salman having recently taken the throne in Saudi Arabia, and Al-Talib being the dethroned crown prince, being tied to Mossad in a lot of ways, and the Khashoggi family who Epstein was smuggling guns with. So it's like a lot of people think there's like a shootout happening on the roof for some reason, and maybe the helicopters are exfiltrating, or actually guns or people are shooting out of the helicopters. And that kind of makes sense in some ways for that piece. But then it's like, so why is there 60 people dead in a music festival down on the strip? And then like, why is this guy in this room with all this weaponry? It's like maybe a gun deal gone bad, but that doesn't explain the people in the concert. So maybe it's like they're attacking the concert to grab our guns, but that doesn't explain the helicopters and the automatic fire and the dude. You wouldn't even do it with the dude in a room. So it's like none of this, it has to be multiple things going on. It has to be one of the most complex. It's kind of like having a Jason Bourne movie happen in real life, and then all the civilians that were like next to the filming of the movie being like, what the fuck just happened? Wow. And then the government having to cover up like Jason Bourne running through, Las Vegas.
This is the mystery you like to solve right here.
Yeah,
right?
It's wild.
Wow.
And it's interesting because you start to get to points where you realize that story is actually probably still playing out today. And it might have to do with some Trump stuff. It might have to do with some Saudi government stuff today. Because right now, Mohammed bin Salman, who might be involved in that, we don't know. He is currently in the middle of the Israeli peace talks with the various nations, because Saudi Arabia is like a key linchpin over there. So there's an element of like, it is so shadowed right now, and you're not allowed to talk about it. And I think that's because it's still present in the current political machinations today. Wow. And if what really happened were exposed, certain things would unravel, is my guess. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.